of you might know of stinging nettles as this invasive, pesky weed that grows in these huge patches and actually can really sting you if you brush against it, if you fall into it, if you walk through a patch. There are stingers all over this weed. And so it's invasive and it's considered a pest. But when you look a little deeper at the research and the information about this particular weed, it's an absolutely amazing, abundant source of nutrients. It's loaded with vitamins. It's very rich in minerals, especially iron. And I think for a lot of women out there and women listening to this call, iron deficiency, low iron, I mean, we lose it every month. We definitely lose it when we have children, especially if you've had more than one close together. Your iron needs may be very, very high, and you might not be getting enough of it from food. If you've ever tried to supplement iron, you know taking an iron supplement can be constipating. Your body may not even absorb the iron from a pill. So getting your nutrients from nature, like with this infusion, is a really powerful way to soak up the mineral goodness. I actually raised my long-term iron storage like 40 points using stinging nettles, and my nurse practitioner actually had to say to me after a year of this, like, you need to slow down with the nettles because your iron levels are getting crazy high. And when I started, they were so low. She had said to me, I don't know how you're walking right now. I don't know how you have the energy to walk. So this is an incredibly powerful plant that's used for a lot of women, used during pregnancy and breastfeeding. It's a galactagogue. It can create more breast milk, and it's really rich in chlorophyll, actually.
That's awesome. And I remember you saying too that it's like very high in vitamin C. Beyond
there's several vitamins that it's high in, and I can't remember what they are at the moment, but actually the chlorophyll one is the part that most excites me. That's the green part of the plant that's extremely nutritive and detoxifying and healing to the body. And so when we get that chlorophyll, and it actually closely matches our hemoglobin, the human blood, it's deeply nourishing to the blood, especially those minerals. So it's a fantastic infusion, and again, like the other one, maybe even less work than the first infusion.
Awesome. So just to share with you right now, it has an amazing smell. I can't place what it smells like, but it's lovely. And I don't know how much I have about here, but it looks like about a cup. And you said to use about a cup?
Yep, about a cup. So the great thing about herbs, and you can tell from the last one, there's no exact recipe you have to follow, but a cup or like a big handful in the bottom of the same kind of quart-sized mason jar that you used for your last infusion, or you can use a weck jar if you so choose. And again, get your boiling water going for this infusion. Yep. Perfect. And I'll let you talk so you're big.
Oh, okay, ladies. So I'm pouring the hot water over the stinging nettle, as you can see. And just like Rye said before, I'm going to really quickly cap it.
Perfect.
And voila. It's beautiful.
So you'll notice the herb is all kind of floating up at the top. That's just fine and totally normal. And then the same exact thing as the other infusion. Set it aside on your counter, and if you're busy and overwhelmed, put it in a spot you know you're going to look, right? Put it right next to your blender or your coffee maker. Wherever you know you're going to look in the morning, put your infusion there so you're reminded to strain it. A minimum of 4 hours on the stinging nettle to get all of those benefits. And what's happening is that hot water is just like the medicine in these plants is just being pulled into the hot water. And so literally we're infusing all of these nutrients into the water. And after 4 hours, again, I do it overnight. I think that's just the easiest. You're going to end up with some delicious stinging nettles. Look at that.
So this one is very green. This is my 24-hour stinging nettle infusion. And while you talk, Brianna, I'm just going to pour this over. Oh, if I can open it. There we are. I'm going to strain it. Can you ladies see? So I'm just using this little strainer.
Perfect. So you're straining out the plant material. So with the ginger and the turmeric, you can just kind of leave it hanging out in the bottom of the infusion. But with this one, you definitely want to strain the herbs out, and any mesh strainer will do. And transfer your stinging nettles infusion, your liquid green liquid gold, into whatever vessel you want to store it in.
Okay.
So another mason jar works great.
So you do,
and then you have not tasted this.
No, I haven't. I wanted to say before I taste it, you usually do it 4 hours. No, you usually do it overnight. But this was 24. And you wanted me to take them out. So what's the max for steeping?
You know, and I can consult with my partner Liz on this one. She's a herbalist, but I would say don't go over 24 hours. I think really that overnight, that 12-hour mark is probably plenty. At that point, the water's at room temperature. The plant has probably given off everything that it's going to give you,
Okay.
and your water is infused and done at that point.
Okay, so here's my water. Oh my God. So it looked to me scarier than it tastes. It's actually, again, really light and pleasant. And it just has like, you know, if you were drinking spa water or something and it had like lovely, the cat got out. Okay, sorry, there's a cat that got out the window. Okay, so yeah, if you had sort of herbs in your spa water with some fruit, it's like that.
That's a great way of putting it. Yeah, it looks really green, and folks usually when I make it and serve it to them are like, you've got to be kidding me, I'm not drinking that. And when they do, it is surprisingly light. It's kind of the best way I can describe it is sort of grassy. It's just green. It's just this lovely light green drink, and honestly, you don't need a lot to get all the benefits.
Yeah, it's actually really lovely. Like, this is very, very, very easy to drink. And I'm actually wondering, we never talked about this before, if I could add a little bit of this to my water, like my spa water. So I don't know if you ladies make spa water. It was a friend of mine that called it that a while ago, and now I hear a lot of people calling it that. I used to work with her last year. Her name is Alexa, and she's awesome. But maybe some water with whatever kind of fruit. You put strawberries and basil or pineapples and cinnamon or something like that. And I'm wondering if I can add a little bit of this to my water and then my fruit and drink that through the day.
Amazing. That's an amazing idea. You can freeze it in ice cube trays and put Nettles cubes in your water so it just sort of melts into your spa water all day. You can, put a splash in your water bottle. You know, I try to drink 3 of these a day. So if I just put like a generous splash in each one of these, I've had my cup of Nettles for the day, and I've gotten those nutritive benefits. A lot of women say they feel energized when they drink the Nettles. Some women use it to replace one of their cups of coffee if they've got, gotten to that point where they're relying on the coffee so much and they're drinking more and more and more. The Nettles not only can replace the coffee for some folks, but they offer those adrenal supporting benefits.
Ooh, can you tell us a little bit about adrenal supporting benefits? Because I am not sure if a lot of people really know when they hear that, what that really means. I know that,
Sure.
But we hear it often, so.
It's true, and it's a big buzzword right now. So the simple part of it is, I know we're getting close on time and we want to take more questions, but to put it simply, we have these adrenal glands that are over our kidneys, towards the bottom of our back, and they're responsible for releasing our stress hormones, mostly the cortisol that we've all heard of, right? And so just like we're always experiencing this low-level inflammation that we talked about earlier, in that same vein, it's because of this low-level stress that we're all experiencing.
Right.
So even if you say, like, well, I don't feel stressed, I'm not a stressed out person, I'm a happy person, the world that we live in is very stressful to our bodies, to our person. So that those adrenal glands are constantly releasing that cortisol. They're constantly giving us that adrenaline, that burst of, fight or flight, that that response. and we start to kind of deplete our adrenals. Stuff like coffee can be depleting to adrenals, too much caffeine, keeping you sort of juiced up. And when the adrenals become depleted, you can experience adrenal fatigue, which is just this kind of like inability to be vibrant and awake and present in your life. It's an exhaustion that can happen with a lot of moms, especially. So supporting your adrenals with herbs like stinging nettles can be a really fantastic way to care for yourself in this stressful time of life.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I love that the ginger is really great for the pregnant mom, and the stinging nettle is really great for the nursing mom. That's beautiful. I do actually need to go over, there were some suggestions to like go over a little bit again. I guess we'll refigure it out next time so I'm a little bit closer with this stuff. But basically, if you didn't see, just like with the ginger, I poured in about a cup of stinging nettle into my jar. Right, about a cup of, and this is a 1 quart mason jar, and she has that beautiful wax jar. This green one was like the 1913 circa 1915 version, and then I just poured it with hot filtered water, spring water, something like that, boiling water, capped it immediately, if you can see it. This one's hot, so I'm not going to pick it up, but it's very hot, and you're just going to leave it on the counter, like she said, overnight. And for the stinging nettles, I think the ginger can stay in for longer, but the stinging nettles she suggested for 24 hours max, and I think you're suggesting 1 cup a day of stinging nettle, right? Whereas I feel like the ginger turmeric you can go forever with. The stinging nettle is 1 cup a day.
Yeah, you really don't want to. It is so powerful and so mineral rich. You don't need more than a cup a day.
Yeah. Okay.